On October 1st, 1952, Edelman Public Relations opened for business. Dan went into every situation with eyes wide open. That is, until he met Ruth.
I met Ruth on a blind date.
So he took me out to eat.
And it clicked.
And then he took me for a ride by the lake.
I had my little car, little Plymouth, blue Plymouth.
I thought he was very attractive and very intelligent, and someone that I could count on.
But it was almost a non-starter. Dan got cold feet, and Ruth left for Florida.
So my grandmother goes down to Florida. She, loses about 10 pounds, gets really tan, and writes to my grandfather every day.
And she wrote postcards to him, and she made up fibs about all the things that she was doing. She went on this date and met this person and this adventure.
So then she comes back up to Chicago from Florida after being there for about 3 weeks, and then I guess she has my grandfather's umbrella still. So she arranges a meeting for him to come get the umbrella from her. And then I guess he sees my grandmother, and she just looks so hot.
My mother said he took one look at her, and that was that.
And so once I got him, I never let him go.
She added a lot to the mix, as my kids did as they grew up. But I have a Harvard, a Yale, and a Brown, so I'm very proud of the kids.
Richard was born in 1954. Renee just 1 year later, and John in 1958.
He was a very loving father. He wasn't home, as much as some other fathers were, but when he came home, he was with them as much as he could be.
He did the best he could, but he was out, 4 or 5 nights a week with clients or going to parties in order to generate business.
I think about my dad every night coming and tucking me into bed and kissing me goodnight.
He worked every Saturday, so in order to get some small bit of attention, we would go down to the merchandise mart with him and, run around in the hallways in that huge building with hockey sticks and try not to break the windows.
Ruth never complained about the long hours. In fact, she was just as passionate about building the business as Dan.
My mother was a co-conspirator. She was full of personality. She'd walk up to anybody and say, "Oh, I'm Ruth Edelman, and by the way, Dan, come over here and meet, Mr. CEO."
The campaigns came fast and furious in those early days.
We were the focus group. When he had the Sara Lee client, we had Sara Lee coffee cake. And then there was real lemon juice, and Brunswick bowling balls.
There were some great side benefits.
I'm here for the Gillette Company as an official spokeswoman.
Phyllis George, who was Miss America, showed up when I was 12. That was big bragging rights, let me tell you. I learned how to make popcorn at age 14 from Orville, and I've never forgotten, you got to heat the oil with 2 little kernels in there, and as soon as they pop, that's when you pop the rest of the corn in.
If Dan was working hard, he expected the same of his children.
Oh, he still corrects my grammar.
A's were the only thing that were acceptable in our household.
Whatever I wrote, I always showed to him, and he would scribble on them. And I think I really learned to love words and writing from working with him. And for that, I'm very grateful.
We used to go to a place in Charlevoix, Michigan, and he was teaching me how to ride a bicycle. But he fell off the bicycle. He was bleeding a little bit, his glasses were smushed. Then he just got back on the bicycle again to start teaching me how to ride the bike. And it goes to his spirit of drive and competitiveness. You just don't put a good man down.